All right, good evening, everyone. This is the live Hangout on air for our July meeting for the GDG of the Triangle. And I'm Luke Derry. Hopefully you can see the little name tag thing. And we'll be doing some Google updates. I've sent out the link to the Hangout itself for anyone who wants to do lightning talks or wants to just share something cool they've been working on. And it should be posted on Google Plus and on Meetup.com for our group. If you've got something you want to say or just want to come in and hang out in the Hangout, love to have more people in here so we know who's watching. So tonight the goal was to share some Google news, updates for people who maybe haven't been paying attention to all things Google like I do a lot of times. And so let me go ahead and share my screen. I believe the Q&A app is also enabled. So if you're just watching the live stream and you want to post a question or something that you want to talk about, you can use that also. I haven't really figured out how to use that as I've always been in the Hangouts, but I'm sure it's probably pretty straightforward. So let me share my screen, just give some Google updates. Let's do the entire screen. All right. So as always, this group is primarily focused on Google developer technologies. And the easiest way to stay up to date on those is probably to go to developers.google.com and kind of search around the site for your favorite Google technology that you'd like to work on. And usually you'll get directed to specific sites for specific products. So in this case, I've popped open Android, Cloud Platform, and Firebase just for so you can see what they look like. These are mostly marketing sites, but it also helps you get started. So one of the big things from Google I/O, we did a recap. Firebase has become a big push for people to use Firebase. If you have not taken a look at that, I would recommend it. Firebase has also started recently a YouTube channel where they post videos and things. So if you'd like to get started with that or see some of the videos from I/O, you can definitely go there to learn about Firebase. Android recently, the developer preview for Android N, I think is in its final stage. It's got a release candidate maybe coming, or it got pushed recently. So expect that to be coming soon. There was also I believe there was a couple of updates for the Play, some of the stuff related to the Play tracking and things like that. Cloud Platform, there's been a few updates on that. I believe they just released machine learning as an available product. And so some of that stuff, if you've played with that, you probably know what you're getting into. I have not had much time to play with it, but from what I've seen people doing, very interesting stuff in regards to that. In addition to, so some of those are some of the major products. Web stuff, the Chrome team is always putting out videos. So they have a channel also, Chrome developers. And there's a number of recurring series that are actually on here. If you, let's see, make sure no one's on here. If you go to the channel and just click on playlists or channels, you can kind of get the different things. I usually just go to videos and kind of, you can see here, look and see what I have seen and then move my way that way. You see some videos here from the Progressive Web App Summit. That was a conference that was put on, I believe, in the Netherlands. I'm going to be wrong on that one, I think. Amsterdam. So if you are a web developer, front-end person, progressive web apps are kind of the new thing these days. take a look. There's a lot of people that are talking about this, and the videos from the summit as well as some of the extra stuff have been really useful. All right, we got our first visitor. Hello.
Hi.
I was just going over some Google updates. I was talking about the Progressive Web App Summit that happened not too long ago, I don't think. Let's see. Back at Monday, June 20th. Okay. And then, so there are videos on YouTube for that, and then the other Google developer groups were just told about a really great opportunity for the public. So this is something, sometimes we get to do stuff behind the scenes that people don't get to participate in outside of the GDG. But if you're interested in Google Maps APIs, and I know I've seen a lot of people in the meetup group especially have put Maps APIs as a priority, this is a great opportunity for you to get in on the beta program. And if you go to the website that's here, and I'll post this on the event and also in Meetup. So it's developers.google.com/maps/beta. The Maps team is really trying to get people to join the beta program so they can have lots of people doing good testing on it. And I think, if you're interested in Maps at all, this is probably a great thing to do. Which I will go ahead and post that here.
I actually saw that there was another Maps thing that Google did a few years ago. I was at a triangle meetup, not a triangle meetup, a GDG meetup in DC. And they were talking about stuff. They were like, you could add like height, and you could see how high something was and stuff like that. Add your customizations.
Yeah, it's funny. I was actually looking at Durham on Maps, and I didn't realize that that the 3D renderings of like downtown have been put in. Oops. Like if you go to the Earth view, a lot of downtown has been 3D rendered, I guess, in here. And there's Jared.
Hi.
I guess other things of note, and I'm going to get it wrong. Is that right? So Angular has had some recent updates. Lots of good stuff coming out of that team. They kind of don't get the press that things like Polymer and some of the other major products do, but lots of good things coming out of that. Oh, I'm not sharing my screen anymore, am
I? Nope.
There. So the new version of Angular, in case someone has seen this, the new website is angular.io rather than angularjs.org, which I believe is focused on the older, like the non-modern version. Yeah. Trying to think if there was anything else I wanted to talk about Maps API. I think that was about it. I guess not necessarily Google specific, but group specific. In the fall, we will be planning another DevFest NC. Hopefully, it'll be. I think we have confirmation that North Carolina School of Science and Math is willing to host us again, so it'll probably be there. Haven't hammered down a date with them yet. They are getting some renovations done to some of the rooms that we were in, and so we're trying to figure out planning wise that. I need to talk with John about that, and about more stuff will be coming out about that. We have a meeting actually tomorrow to talk with Tech Systems. It sounds like we'll get some sponsorship for our Women Tech Makers program, which, similar to some of the other groups around the Triangle that are focused on female technology users, and let's see if I can stop that. Trying to get more women in tech, not just into tech, but also give them a platform to showcase some of their talents. It's not exclusive to female participants, but obviously it's directed towards them. So be on the lookout for some meetings for that. And we'll probably be doing, it sounds like if things go through, we'll probably be doing meetings at the new Tech Systems office down there off Edwards Mill. Well, do either of you two? I'm looking here at the questions app thing in Hangouts. I don't see anything coming in. Either of you guys have anything cool you're working on?
I'm mostly working with React right now.
Oh, okay.
So, not Angular, but
yeah.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of React stuff. I do have all of my free time now, because I'm procrastinated way too long, is going to be going towards prepping for a talk I'm giving at NC DevCon or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Which will be on front-end tooling.
Okay.
So I'm doing a whole bunch of research into the different front-end tooling options that are out there, and then putting together a little bit of a hopefully humorous look at it, since it's such an absurd space right now.
Yeah.
So it's gonna have some real input and advice, but there's gonna be a lot of humor as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. There's a few. NC DevCon is coming up. I'm trying to think of other conferences and things locally that are coming. I want to say the All Things Open, maybe.
Yep. Yeah, I'm registered for that too. That reminds me, if somebody wants to go to NC DevCon, let me know, because I got before I was a speaker or whatever, I got an early bird ticket, so I need to sign up for the speaker ticket, and so that's one I can just give away if somebody wants it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, All Things Open is October 26th and 27th.
I'm definitely going to All Things Open. I'm going to look up NC DevCon.
NC DevCon is always a mixture of good things and things that I didn't necessarily care about, but I think it's just gotten bigger and bigger over time, and I think a lot of it has moved to a more general topics instead of just Cold Fusion and things like that. But I think no one is complaining about that.
No. Yeah. So on that, I do have one. While I have people,
yeah,
familiar with a really good animation or even possibly 3D library for a browser, because one thing that I was sort of hoping to do was grab a whole bunch of these icons for all these front-end tooling things and have them sort of drop in from the top of the screen, just on top of each other.
I'm trying to think. What was the one there was one in the JavaScript Weekly or something like that was, I think, it was like a low overhead animation.
Right.
Let's see.
And if you don't know one off the top of your head, you don't need to dig, because I'll go digging when the time comes, assuming I get there. But
yeah, I'm trying to remember what it was. It was something. It was something catchy, like frames or something related to animation.
Right.
Let's see. Okay, a shared API. I think Google News is always sporadic for me, but I think the different channels of paying attention to stuff is always definitely full. So there's never a lack of stuff to keep up on.
Sorry about the lighting, by the way. I'm kind of sitting in the corner. So.
Oh, that's all right. So, have you done with React? Have you done anything as far as like doing React Native and things like that?
Well, we're mostly using it as part of an app, a web app. So it's Node.js and React. The React is like the root part mostly, not native. So we're not using the React for like front apps.
Yeah.
We have a squad that works close by that uses Angular. They're trying to get to Angular 2.0, but that's kind of still, I think, a work in progress.
Yeah. Yeah, we're still working on upgrading our backbone single page app. I mean, we're using React at work, but it's been slow going.
Yeah. Yeah, we've been porting. My main work has been porting over. Well, not really porting, but rewriting something in React. We're doing sort of a front-end editor, which is actually really cool, and maybe something to talk about at some point in the future. But
that is way cool.
Yeah, it's not just a text editor like most, because I feel like the past year and a half there's just been a ton of in-browser editors. Ours is geared more towards trying to create a free-form editor where you can sort of drag elements onto the page, and hopefully pre-constructed stuff, not just bare elements, and just sort of lay them out wherever you want, not really with a strict layout, so that people can design stuff pretty free-form. So
that's good. That's really needed. Really needed. So that's a good approach. Have you used the React context a lot?
The React what?
Context?
Not yet. I was just today. I was reading a set of patterns because I was looking for been looking for dependency injection, because we've got a whole bunch of sort of elements that are very similar, but they need you want them to be very dynamic with this type of editor. And so it's been one of our big problems, and that was the first real usage I've seen of context. So I need to go back and look through it again, because I know it's not something they document much. But
yeah, they don't document much. I actually used it. We use it in some form for a few things. It works pretty well, although the only problem I had with that was you have to like pass it like to a child, pass it in with a function, and then you kind of need to know that it's there. So if somebody, let's say somebody consumes your component and they don't know they need the context, then they can have a problem unless they can figure it out. So you have to be very clear in documentation that
right.
they have it there.
So, yeah, I've gone back and forth on a lot of that, because I really want the code to be much more clear than the last version, where there was a lot of implicit, strange stuff happening.
Yep.
But the minute I start doing that, you start ending up with a whole bunch of just template work that you're doing. You're just creating a whole bunch of copied code all over the place.
Yeah, and you pass in like every variable. You pass in to every layer. So we're crazy.
Yeah, we've been doing that a lot with props, so I've heard that context helps simplify that instead of passing stuff down 20 layers.
Yep. Definitely. I really like to talk about the D3 that was at the meetup that was at the UNC math thing this year. Is that going to happen again, or do they do every year as a different topic?
Sorry, I may have missed some of that. Are you talking about the Google I/O extended?
Yeah, they talked about D3.
Oh yeah.
That was a great talk, by the way.
I may have gotten video of that actually. Let's see. I can't remember. So the GDG does have a YouTube channel. I kind of it's mostly just.
So I can just go to YouTube and look for it.
Yeah, let me double check though. I'm not sure. Accessibility. So we got the one that was color spaces and then visualization. and I think the visualization one is the one you're talking about, but I think it ended up he didn't share his screen as much, and so like I think we captured the audio, but I don't think he may have been showing something up on the screen that didn't
showing something on the
video. I think there are a few screens where he like it shows up, but it's probably worth a watch. I think it's like 28 minutes. It says.
That library is really good.
Yeah.
That library is really good. All right, I have to deal with my son, so I'm gonna kind of like put on mute.
Well, thanks for popping in.
Okay. And continue, that's fine.
Yeah.
Hello?
One thing I was going to say too is it could be really cool to do a TensorFlow learning session sometime.
Yeah, I may try to hit up. I know at least a couple people have posted like playing around with some of the machine learning and stuff like that. It'd be really nice to get some of that in a meeting, like a more official meeting.
Right. Yeah. That's if there's any other area I'd love to play with, that's the area that really interests me.
Yeah.
Start tinkering with that. I know next to nothing about it. So.
Yeah, and I mean, as far as I know, everyone that I've seen, they've been doing some of the tutorials and things that are on. Let's see, where did I just see that? All products. I mean, that was machine learning somewhere. I'm not sure where it ended up, but yeah, that's definitely one of the topics that people have said that they'd like to see. My latest project is I need to figure out a way to. I'm going to try to write a like a cable TV app to integrate with this new tuner thing that I got, and I want to write it in Go and try to write something where I can have it streamed to the Chromecast, but we'll see. I'm not confident that my skills are good enough to do it.
Yeah, I've had a fair number of small-scale Chromecast things I'd like to do at some point, but most of them involve much more about integrating with Sonos.
Oh yeah, yeah. So we're like we don't have cable currently, and so I'm trying to find a way to not have to pay the exorbitant amount of money for like the cable box and all that stuff. So hopefully I can figure it out and pass it on, and everyone will be like, "Yay!"
I like stuff like that. I haven't had cable since I graduated from college, so
yeah,
I've been cheap forever. It gets easier. It's a lot easier now than it was a decade ago.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, so many. I think what did I see? ESPN was going. They were going to start doing streaming subscriptions or something, like just like HBO Go and all those things.
Yeah, it's gotten a lot easier. I have an antenna too, but my biggest problem is getting it set up outside. So I just don't get it inside. Yeah,
for whatever reason, I haven't been able to get a good like local HD signal, and I don't know if it's because we're in a valley or I don't know what's going on, but we're in a dead zone apparently. But we are in the upper reaches of North Durham, so that may be the problem.
Yeah, it's a ways away because it's either. I mean, most of the stuff's broadcasting from Raleigh.
Yeah, there's one. I want to say there is a tower in Durham that does stuff, but it may just not have a good like signal here.
There's a couple over there. I've noticed I don't. I mean, with mine, it's funny. I point it in the direction that I'm supposed to get the best signal for, and it's not consistent.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping getting it up on the roof or somewhere near the roof will improve that.
Yeah. I don't dare climb on top of my roof. Like the second story, the roof is just too like it's sloped so much, I'd probably fall off and die.
Yeah, my ladder can't get up there. Otherwise, I would have done it already. I tried. I just have to either need to hire someone or come up with some other way to to mount it on the side of the house or something. But I have the old satellite dish sitting up there with the cable lines running from it.
Oh, really? Oh, huh.
Literally, all someone has to do is go up there, bolt it on, put the cable line in, and you're done with the roof.
Yeah. So for those watching the recording that might be in the Charlotte area, I just noticed that the GDG in Charlotte is also doing a meetup tonight. It looks like they're specifically focused on Android. So if you want to hop channels, I can't deny anyone the fact that we're not really doing anything productive tonight. So if you are in the Charlotte area, or you know someone who is in the Charlotte area, the GDG there is kind of in its fledgling state. I think it's still getting spun up and getting going more, but for those watching after the fact, give them a look if you know someone there.
That reminds me of another interesting bit of Google news too. Talking about Android is with Nougat. I haven't seen it yet, but I heard from them that they're going to restrict it so you can't install new root certificates on the devices. Only the ones that come from Google have root certificates. And I'm both, like, I'm split on that, because having worked in an enterprise environment before, I've worked in a place where there's tons of certificates that you need to install that are never going to be public.
Yeah.
They'll let you install them on an individual app basis, but not root on the device. And
Right.
that goes for manufacturers as well. Part of it, the deal is nobody's allowed to install additional certificates beyond the Android open source project ones.
Interesting. I mean, I guess as far as like security goes, that's good. But I wonder if like people who are managing hardware via Google Apps for work would have some ability to do that.
Yeah, I know. That's exactly what we used to do. Is we had a whole bunch of, like, it would be a very big problem.
Yeah.
I sort of feel bad for the team I used to work on with that, because they talked to appliances
Right.
that sometimes would never be on the public internet, that would be self-signed with some certificate, and so you'd need to install that certificate on the device.
Yeah.
And yeah, we can do it through the app, but it's going to make a whole bunch of headaches for everyone who has to do that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, I would imagine they'll get pushback on that, but I would imagine they won't like totally revoke it. They'll probably make some way for people to, do something workaround wise.
Right. I mean, it makes sense. I actually do like the fact that, like, Samsung can't just install whatever certificates they want on my device.
Yeah. I mean, or potential malware or something can't just do that.
And that was one of the biggest problems, was malware was installing certificates that were intermediaries, so they would decrypt all of your content before it went to any other provider.
Yeah, right.
So they want to lock that down. So
all I know, the one thing so I have a, what is it, Nexus 9 that has the developer preview on it, and it frequently resets. And I know I've seen at least one other person complaining about that, but I don't know if they've done anything like to change whatever it is that's causing that.
Because you're playing Pokemon Go on it, isn't it?
I should show that I took screenshots. I installed it twice. The first time I was unable to connect because the server was having errors. And so I'm like, I'm just uninstalling it. And then the second time I got to the point, I guess it would be where you log in or something, but it just sat there and didn't do anything. And so I'm like, all right, I'm uninstalling it. And I haven't tried again since then. Which, like, I just had flashbacks of Ingress for anyone who has played that. Like, I'm like, probably better not get into this. Just how bad it is. Like, for the sake of my life, like.
Yeah, I would say so. I don't have anything else.
I don't know that I do either. If you're out there watching live, which I don't think anyone is because it says 0 viewers, but if you're out there watching live, come on into the Hangout and let us know you're there. I guess we've been going for half an hour. That's probably a sufficient amount of time. But there's probably a ton of other updates. I wish John from NCSSM usually comes in and has some cool tidbits from his Google connections. And my Google just pinged me because I said, "Okay, Google." Just looking real quick to see if there's anything new and exciting that I may have missed. We were traveling down in Emerald Isle, so I was kind of a little bit disconnected because we were out on the beach all day. All right. Well, with 35 minutes under our belt, I guess we'll just say see you next month. I guess I would anticipate we'll have more. We've been the organizers have been a little slow to get our regular monthly meetings going this year, but more information about DevFest and some of the next meetings coming up will probably be posted soon-ish, I guess. And with that, I guess I'll say we'll sign off.
All right. See you later.
All right. See ya.